Hello guys, I am C, and today I'm gonna do my first tank review on this channel. This is very much inspired by Napalm. I think he does a great job reviewing tanks. He is very objective about things. He shows all these great spreadsheets about stats and how they compare to other tanks of the BR, and I think they're great, but that's not my style of doing things. With me, I really go with experience. I really think that stat cards can be misleading at times. A great example will be this. It has a max speed of 51 kilometers per hour, but you can reach it even on small inclines. And this thing, it has a max speed of 83 kilometers per hour, but I've really never done over 50 too much. So back to the M47, which will be the topic of today's video. I just got this thing on sale, and after some playing with it, I think I've gotten the hang of it, and I want to talk about how I feel about this tank. So first of all, I think we still have to go through some hard stats, or at least how I think of the stats. So the trifecta of a tank: armor, mobility, and firepower. What does the thing have? Armor, yeah, it does not look all that good. But it's not how it looks, it's how it works that matters. In my experience, this thing, well, yeah, the sides are very weak, but frontally, if you wiggle enough and you angle, it's easy to bounce a few shells. And especially with this cancerous bush on, it's hard for them to shoot where it hurts. So having a lot of bushes definitely help this tank. Its upper frontal glazes, well, there is a weak spot here, and the lower glazes is not that good, but if you angle it, yeah, it can bounce. The real issue is this part, which is extremely weak. But if you get hit there, they're probably very close up to you, and they might as well hit any other place where it hurts. And now let's go to mobility. Let's see, 47 kilometers per hour seems meh, but man, this thing goes fast. It reaches that speed very often on flat ground, and even on inclines you can do a 25-30 easily. The acceleration is fantastic, and overall this thing is fast. Not as fast as maybe this. Well, actually I'll say it can be very close, because in my experience I can keep up with leopards and sometimes even RE251s with no issue in this tank. Now the last thing will be firepower, and that's where this thing really shines. Heat fin stabilized shell, a lot of penetration. Sure, it does not have all that much post pen, but hey, if you are at this tier, you better know where the hell to shoot to hurt people. You just need to learn that. M82 nuke shell for side shots, or when finishing up at longer ranges, where sometimes you feel that you are not sure where if the heat fin can get the last crew, which is like stuffed all the way in the back. Use this side shot. So I also bring some smokes, 5 of them, because this thing, although it does have smoke grenades, which is really good, it only has one through all of it, and it only shoots in front of you, so this can be helpful at times. And the HE is just HE. I bring 5 just so I can meme anti-airs and stuff, but really, it's just there. Ammo rack, it's good. All these ammo racks will be removed if you take 60 or less ammo. With me taking 40, that will be these front ammo racks and some in the back. And right now I think it's time to go into some gameplay and show how it works in game. So this is a game on this snowy Russian map, and I think it's a great representation of how I personally like to play this tank, which is in a flanker role. It has great mobility, as I have stated, and it also have a great gun that kills a lot of stuff. So I cut into these woods here, leaving all my teammates behind. You know, playing lone wolf without a squad mate, I think it's the best way to go. Don't rely on your teammates. Sometimes they're good, but most of the times they're a bit lackluster. So I move up here through the woods, observing, and oh, it's a guy, but I hear this light tank, a T-92, roaming around. I set up for the shot. He stabilized hull breaks. Nicely done. But you know, aiming for the crew compartment, even if it was not a hull break, I can at least secure the kill or heavily cripple him. This is something you need to keep in mind with heat fin stabilized. Don't rely on hull breaks or whatsoever, or ammo racks. So here it was actually a not so good shot, and this is exactly why you shouldn't rely on heat fin stabilized ammo racking. I was trying to ammo rack him, but it got the commander and gunner, which is, well, at least luckier than getting, you know, a loader or something. At least he couldn't shoot at me even if he noticed this, and this is a great time to use our APHG shell, which grants me the kill basically wherever I hit on him. And here I'm just, you know, observing my surroundings. That's really an important part to this vehicle, or, you know, to any flankers. You need to look around, bino around, and also sound is a great friend to you. You should really just listen around, and that has saved my life multiple times. For example, with a T-92, if I did not notice him and I did not shoot him, maybe I shoot someone else and he gets me. Here I see this heavy tank, and I was able to get a shot off. I was trying to push in and shoot him because I had heat fin stabilized loaded. I was scared that he turns around and looks at me. That would be horrible, because that way I wouldn't be able to pen him with the APHG. I didn't want to switch. Here I don't know what hit my track. I honestly do not know, and it got me scared. So I popped smoke in front of me, and just in case there's people behind me, hey, we have smoke shells for a reason. I was able to rep. I don't know why he didn't shoot at me. Maybe because of the smoke. And this is just lucky. I wasn't able to react fast enough to shoot him first, and I got caught on fire. Thankfully, he did not get my engine or my gun or anything. He only got my gunner, and due to his extremely long reload, I was able to get a return shot on him and kill him. That was just luck. I have to say that was just luck. But you know, sometimes a bit of luck gets you places. Here I see this track mark, and I don't know what it is. I followed it for a while, and then I thought it's probably the T-92 or something. So I stopped tracing it and went out to the outskirts of the woods again and tried to get more enemies. I was looking to see if anyone was coming from their spawn, and I see this British tank. Well, I will see this British tank because this is a post commentary, and I know what happened. Yeah, I was trying to move down, which is actually a bit of a dumb thing, because if anyone comes from their spawn, I will be pretty screwed. Okay, here I finally see this tank. Shoots it. Driver gunner, and I switch to APHG. This is one of the times that I said, don't heat fin stabilize people if you get a nice side shot at people, because you don't know where the jet stream is going to go, and it's better to just nuke them with APHE. Then you know, like, wherever you hit, it's probably gonna be a devastating kill. And this basically concludes my actions in this game. I was lucky enough to get number 1 on the team. And now let's move on to the next clip. So this time I was playing on Berlin, and first of all we fired this guy. He has been got on fire by me once before. That's the second time, and this is the third time. So basically what I was doing before this is I was pushing hard down middle with our mobility. And here we get the triple fire kill. Good. We were just short enough to fit under this bridge. And basically what I did is I kept pushing through this middle section. And I will be able to flank people very soon. This is actually what Fly did in his Soviet Sherman video. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking about. But I kind of got a bit of twist on it just because the map setup was a little different. So basically I'm doing the same thing. I'm moving up here and I'm trying to get a shot on enemies who are coming from their spawn to the 8 point. Now it was clear that I couldn't get a shot off at that position, so I had to move up a bit behind this house. And with our mobility, we were able to crest that pretty tall hill. I was looking to the left so I don't get shot by people, and here I actually let a few tanks go just because I don't have the stabilizer. It bounced around a little bit, and there wasn't really that big of a window for me to shoot at tanks, so I might have to advance this clip just by a little bit here. Alright, there it is. Keeping stabilized, goes through the terror ring of a T-29 or T-34. Again, APHE finishes off nicely. The reload was just a tiny bit slow, so I wasn't able to get a shot off there. But here I was able to get a shot off, and they actually killed all the crew members. Or at least enough crew members to kill him. And this actually concludes all my kills this game. I was a bit dumb. I moved out and I didn't see a M56, and I died to him. But it does show the potentials of this tank. Let's move on to the next and our final clip of the day. Alright, so on to our final clip of the day, which is from Eastern Europe. There's some technical issues, so we had to silence this clip. Here we get the ammo rack on the British tank, and this is a good representation of this tank's mobility. While that British tank is still going into the cap zone, we were able to go all the way around to the other side of the river and get a side shot on. And the gun, if you hit right, it's extremely destructive, even with heat fin stabilized. But now, since we're shooting side armor, we've switched to APHE. I tried to shoot that guy's cupola, but it did not hit. So here I'm just patiently waiting for the next guy to show up. No new spawners coming in, but there is a super person, and we get the side shot off. See how well that shot spread once it entered the tank? That's 90 mil APHE for you. This is the reason why the M82 is called the nuke shot. Still waiting. Checking for new spawns once more. I don't want to move out way too much. That might get me killed. But here we see this T-32 and side shot. Once again, cuts cleanly through. but that really only happens against American and British tanks, or Soviet light and medium tanks. But against stuff like the Bias 6, nah. I don't even know if I can penetrate its side hull. But here, he just fired. I didn't show that, but he did. And I was able to catch it on its reload. Got one shot off and another. So final verdict on this tank, and actually a few words about the BR, which is very interesting about this tank. So this tank, it's an interesting one. It's not a tank for everybody, but it is a tank for me. It has everything I asked for. A great gun, really awesome mobility, and some adequate armor that can bounce a shell or two at times. But some people will prefer tanks with more armor. But last thing, the BR, it's the only vehicle. You look at helicopters, you look at fleets, you look at aviation, you look at army, it is actually the only vehicle at 7.3 for its Germans. And you might think to yourself, well, why wouldn't I just play the 7.0 lineup? And why would I put this in and up tier it? I got Jagdtiger, I got Kugo Blitz, I got Panther 2, I got Tiger 2 105, I got Kanona Jagdpanzer. Why would I bring this thing into the mix? Well, here's the issue. Germany at 7.0 suffers from power creep and BR compression. Out of all the games I play, I probably get like one 7.0 top game in 20-30 games. So why does it even matter if I bring a 7.3 into the mix? I mean, the most I've gotten is 7.3 and 7.7 in this lineup anyways. I have got only one 8.0 game, and I have not gotten any 8.3 games yet. And the other thing is, it makes a nice complement to the Leopard 1, because the Leo, at 7.7 you really don't have much to complement it. You have a mouse, which is honestly more of a meme tank. I know people who can play very well, but generally it's more regarded as a meme. You don't have a Gepard, you only have Kugo. You have a Panther 2, which is a decent tank, but really more glass cannon, good mobility and good gun, but really not so much armor. With this thing thrown into the mix, it really feels better. And especially when you put it at a 7.0 lineup. Usually, if you get like a huge up tier, this is all you have. He's been stabilized and hash on the Kanona Jagdpanzer, and god, the stock grind is, let's say, it's not the worst, but it's definitely not so enjoyable. Having this, it just makes you feel much better. You have a good medium tank with good mobility and decent armor, and you can actually penetrate stuff. Is it worth it at this price? With 2,000 Golden Eagles and 7 days of premium thrown in, at $49. I don't know. It really depends on you. Personally, I would not buy it at full price. But if you like it, it is a good tank. It's a tank, as I said, again and again. It does well with the trifecta. It has everything that I asked for, and it's a historically interesting tank. It's the German tank, before Leos or M48 got introduced. It was the backbone of the Bundeswehr at one point in time. And this concludes the tank review of today. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it useful. Please leave a comment, tell me what you liked and what you didn't like. Tell me how should I improve, and as always, have a nice day.